Alright, so I'm back, and today we are going to be counting down our top 10, my top 10 list for the best figures of the year. And we've had some really good figures from everybody. Both third parties, Masterpiece, and Hasbro has put out some great figures this year. So it's going to be a fun list. But first off, I want to apologize for my brainstorm video. I know it was kind of... after it got put in, it was kind of squished. I'm trying to use some new software to get that black box that's been around my videos, trying to get rid of that. So you're going to see a whole bunch of videos from me posted this morning, because when I edited that video last night, and I played it on Windows Media Player, everything was great. It was fine. It was high def. It was full screen. Everything was perfect. But then when I uploaded it on YouTube, it got squished. Don't know why. Don't know how. But you're going to see a whole bunch of just test videos this morning. Because I'm trying to figure out if there's another way to edit it and make it come out better. But yeah, anyway. So my top 10 favorite Transformers of the year. We're going to be doing this. I've got a few honorable mentions to start with. First honorable mention is Brainstorm. They did a really good job. The chair keeps wanting to swivel the wrong way. I think Hasbro did a really good job making this figure. He's really good detail. A lot of fun to play with. The head's a little meh when he's in the individual robot mode, but other than that, and the jet mode's kind of meh, but other than that, I think they did a really good job on this guy. I'm very impressed, and I really look forward to see what comes next. I know the Combiner Wars people are starting to pick those guys up now, so I'm very excited to see where Hasbro can go with these bigger Voyagers that aren't the Combiners, because this thing is just incredible. And like I said in his review, I really hope, I kind of really hope to see a Cyclonus repaint. So yeah, he's really good. I think Hasbro is definitely going to be getting into that running of best company again. For a while there, they kind of were slacking off, and third parties were picking up the slack. But I think with figures like this, and my next pick for honorable mention, figures like those are going to give third parties a run for the money and make it so that we really don't need to spend all this money on the third party figures. I mean, because this guy is not as good as the Fans Project one, but he's bigger and he is pretty detailed, so he's close to the Fans Project one, and he is better than the Toy World one. So, and the next honorable mention is the Leader Class Jetfire. Again, this is showing off exactly what Hasbro can do when they really just stop and be like, you know what, we can win this. So this thing is incredible. Again, doesn't quite make my top 10 list. I actually don't have any Hasbro in my top 10 list, but I've got 2 in my honorable mentions. So kudos to Hasbro again, doing a great job. I really look forward to see where the Leader Class, I mean, they're using Leader Class and making it relevant to their collections. Because this is how big Jetfire should be in the Classics collections. So, again, good job on that. Next honorable mention is just because there's... Actually, I do have a Hasbro figure in my top 10. But the next figure is the Warbotron Brawl. And you can say the same thing about the Swindle. They're really good figures. They're a little bit too fidgety for me to really say they're perfect. But they're pretty good. And I really do like them. I think I have a lot of fun with them, but they don't quite make the cut just because there's just so much better stuff that came out this year. So, Brawl. And then last honorable mention before we get into the actual top 10 is Masterpiece Optimus Prime in P10. And this is just a reissue, and that's why he doesn't make the list. But because he's a reissue, he's still really awesome, and if you guys don't have one, get one. Seriously, even if you're not a Masterpiece collection, you need to get an Optimus Prime. Masterpiece Optimus Prime. My chair keeps swiveling. I don't like it. But yeah, do recommend him. But yeah, let's get into the actual top 10 list. So number 10 is the knockoff version of Masterpiece Silver Streak. You know, some people love knockoffs, some people hate knockoffs, some people despise people that like knockoffs. But I'd say for a knockoff, this thing is really, really, really good, and for the cost, it's really, really worth it. And I was thoroughly impressed when I got him out of the packaging. I thought this guy, he's almost as good as the real Prowl that I have. So, and being half the cost, that's why he's on my list. Is we're getting alternatives to the Masterpiece collections that are actually pretty good. So I know some people are gonna hate that he's in my top 10, but he's one of my favorite figures of the year. He really is. Number 9 is the TFC's Hotspot, or Hydrant, I believe they called him. Absolutely incredible figure. He is just, he's probably the perfect rendition of Hotspot. Like I said, I don't think he works very well in the Classics collections, but he works pretty well in a Masterpiece collection in robot mode. But yeah, he's really good. Plastic quality is top notch. This guy is definitely one of my favorite figures of the year. I absolutely adore this figure. Number 8 is going to go to the Hasbro Rat Trap. I'm a sucker for Beast War figures, and they just nailed this figure. I do wish he was a little bit smaller, but it would have been hard to do his complexity with his size. So I really, really like this figure. I think he's really good. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would change is his size. I really love this figure. I really hope that they make more Beast Wars. I believe last year in my top 10 figures of the year list, Waspinator made the cut for that same reason. Rhinox, he was released last year. I didn't get him until this year, but I think he's a superior figure than the Rhinox just because he's more fun to mess with. So, Rat Trap is number 8. Number 7 is going to go to the Unique Toys Blot figure. His beast mode is spot on. His robot mode is spot on. The only thing I'm not a fan of is the fact that he didn't come with any guns I like to give him. So I gave him a different gun. But other than that, this figure is just about perfect. The perfect version of Blot that you can think of. Very G1 accurate, very awesome looking, and you know, they really bumped up their scale for their combiners to be more in competition of the MMC Predacons. The design of him is a lot like the MMC Predacons, so it's nice to have, you know, two different companies now seemingly on the same page when it comes to making combiners. I really wish the rest of them, and you know, one could also say the Warbotron guys are on the same page as well. So, you know, it could, you know, those three together, you know, they'll fill out the ranks for you. And TFC, around the same scale, but they're not nearly the same design. This guy is really well done. So, Blot. Number 6 is going to be Starscream. The iGear Starscream. I think he was actually really, really good. I have a lot of fun with this figure. I do have this guy now, so he's getting replaced, but I'm keeping him as my for scale purposes. So, but yeah, he's a really good figure. I absolutely love this figure. It's a great figure. It's a lot of fun to transform, and just all around, he's just a lot of fun. He's just, yeah. iGear really knocked it out of the park. I would say I do really wish that they would have continued with this line. We haven't heard from iGear really since they released this line, and so all's been kind of quiet on that end. So I'm kind of curious to see if we'll get the Rainmakers with this. But yeah. And I actually made a miscalculation on my numbers. So this guy was actually number 10. Not honorable mention. He's number 10. So it goes Jetfire 10, Silver Streak 9, Hotspot 8, Rat Trap 7. Wait, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Yeah. Hotspot's number 7, Rat Trap's number 6. Wait, 10, 9, 8. Hotspot's number 8, not 7. Alright, let's try this again. Okay, so it goes Jetfire, KO Masterpiece, Hotspot, Rat Trap, Blot, Starscream, and then Masterpiece Bumblebee. This is number 4. Really great figure. I absolutely love this figure, and I hate Bumblebee. I said that in his review. Yeah, the only thing I would there isn't anything I change about him. I think he's great the way he is. I think he's a lot of fun to play with. And you know, Masterpiece just really knocked it out of the park again. So you know, then yeah, they're doing a really good job right now. So number 4 is Bumblebee. Number 3 is Wheeljack, Masterpiece Wheeljack. So yeah, another Masterpiece figure lands on my list. And if you count Silver Streak, that's 3 this year of Masterpiece figures. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, this Wheeljack is just awesome. I really dig him. There's a reason why he's the one that shows up in my scale comparisons more than any other MP cars. Is because I just love getting him off the shelf and playing with him a little bit. So, but yeah, Masterpiece Wheeljack, really good figure. Really high quality, obviously, because it is Tarka and their Masterpiece line. And this thing just screams awesome. I really dig this figure a lot. So number 2 is Mastermind Creations Ravage or Rampage. Ravage. Really fun figure. I really dig this guy a lot. He is just screams awesome. Everything from the add-on kit that was free with him, different face mask, all the swords, the guns, this gun didn't come with him. That came with the Professor Heisenberg set. But just everything about him. This was the perfect figure of their line. Like, you can argue that I mean, one could make a top 10 list of favorite third-party figures, and 5 of them could be these Predacons. But it was really hard for me to decide who to put in here, because I couldn't put Bovis or Fortis because they were last year, and I didn't have them last year, so I couldn't count them in last year's list. Dive Bomb for me, I didn't like, and then it boiled down to, do I do Razor Claw or him? And I went with him because I think he is a better figure than the Razor Claw. There's nothing about him that I would sit there and say, yeah, I wish I would have fixed this. No, he is just about perfect. He's awesome. And then number one, and this should come as no surprise whatsoever, is Scoria. Fans Toys, you guys get figure of the year from me. This thing is awesome. I mean, down to the chrome that's just perfect, to the die-cast feet. This thing is just about perfect. No, not just about perfect. This thing is perfect. This is the perfect masterpiece Dinobot. Slag, right? Slag. Or Snarl. This is the perfect Snarl we'll ever get. And there's a reason why I ended up selling my Toy World Slag, was because I'm going more masterpiece so I can fit more Fans Toys figures in. I'm kind of laying off third-party figures for a while, but I'm still going to get the Swoop when he comes out. They're the only exceptions, really, to that rule. But this guy is just awesome. They're reissuing him, and then they're also reissuing him with more shiny paint instead of the gray plastic. And he's a little bit more, but so if you guys are looking to get one, I know TF Source has, and Big Bad Toy Store has them on pre-order. I'm sure everybody does. But get them while you can. And Fans Toys, if you're out there, first off, thank you for this. And second off, please reissue Quake Wave. And yeah, that's it. My top 10 Transformers of the year. And later today, I'm going to do a top 10 worst figures of the year, which is going to be a little bit harder because I actually don't have a lot of these figures anymore, because they were bad and I sold them or destroyed them. So it's going to be a little bit different to do that. So hope you enjoyed. And obviously, question of the day is, what is your top 10 figures of the year?